Incomplete pass. Mike Peterson coming up and delivering a blow on Larry Brown.
Now, Mike Bobo came out on a naked bootleg and he delivers the ball. Larry Brown has it. He needs to just put it away. He had it in his hands. Again, I go back. Not everything is Bobo's fault with the Georgia offense. He's got to be able to count on players like Larry Brown to come up with those receptions so you can make some first downs.
5 of 15, 58 yards. The Gators held Auburn quarterback Damian Craig to 7 of 28 and 82 yards passing last week, 2 weeks ago rather, in Gainesville. Bobo out of the gun. Plenty of time. Juan Daniels. Catch at the 35. Gets up to the 40. Make it the 41-yard line.
You know, a lot of people don't understand why you keep playing in football. Well, that's part of it. You're down 34-0 as a coaching staff, as players. You want to keep competing, and that's exactly what Juan Daniels is doing here. And you notice Bobo. Here he has time. He can get planted. He can let that ball go. That's key for a quarterback, too. How well is that offensive line protecting him so he can get his confidence so that he's able to release that ball?
Daniels was the #1 receiver on this team last year with 46 catches for 726 yards. And here's Kirksey running the football over the 40-yard line. And to start the second half, Robert Edwards, who fumbled the ball twice, losing one in the first half of play, has not seen the field yet.
You know, I marvel a little bit at Florida. Here they are with 3 defensive linemen out of the game. So they're playing with all backups except for one, Reggie McGrew. And Georgia has been unable to run the football against this front. So you know that the depth and the quality of the players that Florida is able to put up there is substantial.
Bobo again, short drop, looking to the far side, and Corey Allen cradles the football, and he'll be close to midfield. Shea Showers covering for the Gators. On the sidelines, warming up right now for Florida, Ryan Schottenheimer, the backup quarterback, along with Doug Johnson.
I think this is an important drive for Georgia, just for their own peace of mind, if you will. If they can put together some first downs, if they can convert on this third down, get a few more first downs, they can start to regain some confidence that's been shattered by this Florida team.
3rd down and 3. Kirksey, and a flag has been thrown prior to the snap. Looks like somebody on the Georgia offensive line got caught moving. Larry Brown, the tight end.
Larry Brown just kind of flinched. You cannot move when you're an offensive lineman.
Ball start against the offense.
You know, these are the things that have plagued Jim Donnan throughout the season. He's been frustrated with penalties but more importantly, interceptions. The turnovers are what has taken his offensive team out of a lot of advantageous field positions. Georgia hasn't had a lot of penalties throughout the year, but boy, the turnovers, fumbles, and interceptions have killed them.
And a lot of the blame is rested on the shoulders of Mike Bobo, but he has had 3 different offensive coordinators in 3 years. Jim Donnan taking over as the head coach and offensive coordinator this season, implementing another new system. That time, Mike Moten giving pressure to...
This is a perfect example. Mike Moten is a backup defensive lineman, and he's able to exert pressure on the quarterback where the quarterback doesn't have that feeling of freedom so that he can just get that ball released and get it downfield.
How long, Terry, does it really take for a quarterback to start understanding a system?
Well, I think also...
This one off the side of the foot of Dax Langley. We'll get to that in a moment. 11:54 to go, 34-0 Florida.
shown you Prego is better than Ragu Old World style. Now here's a thought on why. Prego adds diced tomatoes, Ragu only paste. So Prego's more like homemade. No wonder people prefer Prego almost 2 to 1. Prego homemade taste, it's in there.
All across the nation, people are asking the same question. Where's Candace?
I don't know what happened to her. All I did was show her how I count my dimes. 1 minute, 2 minutes.
It's Sprint's dime a minute thing, man. It's so totally popular, she's gone into hiding.
Now comes news that Sprint's made it even better.
Now you can get 10 cents a minute 24 hours a day to the number you call the most.
Well, that's great news, but will we ever see Candace again?
Don't hold your breath.
Call now for 10 cents a minute 24 hours a day to the number you call the most.
CBS Sports coverage of college football is sponsored by Nissan, who reminds you that life is a journey. Enjoy the ride. And by Visa. It's everywhere you want to be.
11:54 remaining in the third quarter, 34-0. Florida on top of Georgia, and this series one of the hottest in the country. And Georgia comes into the game leading the series 44-28 to 92-year history.
Steve Spurrier was very aware of the substantial lead Georgia has in the series. In fact, one of the motivating factors for his players was that exact same thing.
Elijah Williams bouncing it outside at the 30-yard line, and Williams finally collared and brought down at the 23.
You've got to give the offensive line of Florida a lot of credit. They're able to protect Wuerffel when he's throwing. They're also able to get a real push in the front of that offensive line. The offensive line of Florida has been an underrated element of this team all season long.
Dwayne Mobley with the great block, the fullback to spring Elijah Williams on that play. Gain of 33 yards. First down at 10 from the 23. Williams 9 carries, 90 yards. Inside handoff on the reverse to Jaquez Green, and he's dragged down immediately. Brian Jones, the linebacker, makes the tackle.
Jaquez might have gotten hurt a little bit on that play. He's limping off. Looked like he hurt an ankle or a leg there.
Now Florida, Steve Spurrier is trying to tie the all-time record for most consecutive wins by a school in this rivalry with his 7th straight. Georgia under Wally Butts won 7 straight from 1941 to 48, and there was no game in 43 because of the war.
Great rivalries usually go in streaks.
Second down and 6. Here's a yo-yo play. Wuerffel over the middle. This is Elijah Williams trying to break outside of the corner of the end zone. And he will be down at the 1. 18-yard gain, but there is a flag on the play.
Steve Spurrier is one of the masters of the unexpected. It's part of his coaching genius. He just pulls plays out of the hat, so to speak, and all of a sudden you get something. I think a lot of that he learned when he played for and coached.
Holding against the offense. Penalty is 10 yards. Spot the foul. Repeat the down.
When he played and coached under Pepper Rogers. Pepper Rogers was Spurrier's quarterback coach when he was a freshman and sophomore, and then at Georgia Tech, Spurrier worked for Pepper Rogers. Pepper Rogers was a master of the unexpected, and I think Spurrier learned from that. And the interesting thing, when they played each other in the USFL, Pepper, the first time they played, he scored first against Spurrier, onside kick. The next game, Spurrier started the game with an onside kick. He wasn't going to be outdone.
Second down at 21 from the 34-yard line. Wuerffel in trouble, and he's down at the 35. Jason Ferguson with his 6th sack of the season, and we talked in our open about Ferguson and Jermaine Smith really haven't called their names very much today.
They really haven't had a lot of plays this afternoon because of the great play of that Florida offensive line, but on that particular occasion, Jason Ferguson got the heat on Wuerffel. They're going to be excited about that in Georgia.
Third down and 21. 10:18 to go in the third quarter from the Georgia 34-yard line.
Wuerffel checked off.
And a flag. Play clock running down again, and as you said earlier, secondary, they have been a little sluggish in terms of getting to the line of scrimmage, recognizing what's happening, and getting the play off.
Well, Danny Werfel does a lot in this offense. Steve Spurrier gives him a great deal of flexibility.
Delay against the offense, 5 yards, repeat the down.
And as a result, he's always trying to get to an ideal play. He sees a particular coverage, particular receiver who may be locked up man-to-man, and Werfel has the flexibility to try and get there. And sometimes the clock does run out, but the big plays they make by doing that far and away outweigh any kind of penalties they receive.
6th penalty of the game for Florida, covering 54 yards. Werfel trying to get outside. He'll throw it towards the end zone, and it's broken up at the last moment at the goal line. Glenn Ford breaking up the play for Georgia, and there is a flag down on the play.
Well, I think we have a chance to have offsetting penalties here. I believe Florida was holding, and that's going to be a personal foul on Georgia.
Looks like the personal foul may go against Ramon Cooper, a backup defensive lineman, walk-on, who has gotten some playing time this season. As Danny Werfel showed his ability to get outside.
Werfel can scramble better than people give him credit for, and he's able to avoid rushes and has made a lot of big plays this season by doing exactly that, using his mobility.
Werfel, 6'2", 209, 4'6", 4'7", 40-yard dash. He can run.
Fouls on the play. Holding against the offense, penalized 10 yards from the spot of the foul, and a dead ball personal foul against the defense, which will be 15 yards and an automatic first down.
So Gator fans rejoice on that call. Automatic first down for Florida.
You just want to make sure, if you're Georgia, you don't lose your poise. You're playing the #1 team in the country. You're building a program under a new coach. You just want to keep competing. You don't want to lose your poise.
First down from the 38-yard line for the Gators. Elijah Williams, second man through, spinning, and a nice piece of running by Elijah Williams. Spun off of a tackle and finally written down at the 34-yard line by Corey Johnson.
Florida is a very deep team at tailback. They can play with Elijah Williams, Fred Taylor, Terry Jackson. It really doesn't matter. But Elijah Williams is a tough, hard-nosed competitor, and right here he does it on his own. Picks up about 4 or 5 yards with extra effort.
10 carries, 94 yards for Williams. Looking for his 3rd straight 100-yard game. Werfel in trouble, and he's slung down at the 45. Jason Ferguson, his 2nd straight sack.
Now, Jason Ferguson must have heard us talking about him, because all of a sudden he's turned his game up a notch and been able to put the pressure on Werfel. Jason Ferguson overpowers Corey Yarborough, number 62, the right guard. Just can't really handle that big of a physical man. Right there at the burst to the quarterback. Excellent play.
Jason Ferguson, a junior college transfer out of Itawamba Community College in Mississippi. Last year when he came into camp, only had 10 days to get ready to play in his first game. 3rd down, 18. Werfel over the middle, and it's broken up. Greg Bright got a hand on it and knocked it away, but there is a flag on the play. Nafis Kareem, the intended receiver. Champ Bailey almost coming up with an interception.
So the flag, the ball was tipped.
Nafis Kareem is one of the players who has an opportunity today, because of the suspension of Ike Hilliard, to get onto the playing field and show his skill.
Greg Bright making the defensive play for Georgia, and Robbie Stevenson comes on to punt for the first time today from the 41-yard line. Chris McCraney back deep. He's got it at the 10, trying to run to his right, and not a lot of room for McCraney as Ross makes the tackle. 7:49 to go. 34-0 Florida.
Take a stroll down memory lane at the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
You crushed my knee. Was your toes. You broke my ribs.
It was your nose.
Ah, yes. I remember it well. You sacked me once.
I sacked you twice.
In pouring rain.
No, it was nice.
Ah, yes.
But when you go, don't forget your Visa card, because the Hall takes the NFL's best, but not American Express.
See ya, Nitschke.
It's Butkus.
Ah, yes.
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Now, with 50% more tender filet than before, McDonald's new Fish Filet Deluxe is sure to satisfy your grown-up needs and desires. For lunch. It's McDonald's with a grown-up taste.
A powerful drug cartel holds America hostage with the ultimate killing machine. Only Chuck Norris can stop them.
Let's do it, man to man.
On Walker, CBS tonight.
7:49 remaining in the third quarter. Florida leading 34-0. Georgia with the football at the 12-yard line. Gus Johnson along with Terry Donahue, and the #1 ranked Florida Gators came out, did not score on their opening drive for the first time this season, but proceeded to score 3 straight touchdowns in the first half. Here's Kirksey straight ahead up to the 25. And let's check in with Pat O'Brien in New York on Arizona State.
All right, Gus, Arizona State once down 14-6, finally getting it together against Oregon State here. Marlon Farlow scores on a 3-yard run to give ASU a 22-14 lead. Wildcats 8-0, trying to go to 9-0, undefeated, and play in the Rose Bowl. That's their goal. Let's go back to Gus.
And thank you very much, Pat. First down and 10 from the 25. Kirksey again, and he's gone the entire distance thus far in the second half. Torin Kirksey had 3 100-yard games after Robert Edwards went out last year with an injury. And the standings in the East, Florida running the table, 5-0 in the SEC, 7-0 overall, followed by Tennessee, South Carolina.
And you know, Tennessee still has hopes of trying to meet up with Florida once again this year. If everything were to break a particular way, there is a scenario where that could happen.
1-yard gain on the last play. Here's Kirksey popping it outside up to the 35, and finally ushered out of bounds at the 37 by James Bates. Now, while the East is already locked up with Florida, the West is still pretty wide open. Alabama, LSU, both at 4-1. Auburn 3-2. Mississippi State, Arkansas, and Ole Miss. Alabama, LSU will play next weekend.
That'll be a great game down there. Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge. Torin Kirksey did a good job running the football here in the second half. Another first down at the 37. Kirksey spinning, and he'll be lucky to get 1, possibly 2 yards. Prior to that run, 9 carries, 47 yards for Kirksey. And he was suspended for the Tennessee game for breaking team rules. But he's a solid running back. And obviously right now, Robert Edwards in Jim Donnin's doghouse because he has not played in the second half after fumbling the ball twice during the first half.
Jim has been disappointed in Robert Edwards thus far this season. He's made some good plays, but not as many as they expected him to.
Larry Brown at the 50, finally chopped down at the 40-yard line by Shea Showers, and Larry Brown almost had a touchdown in the first half, gain of 21 there, but it was called off because of a penalty.
Well, Mike Bobo working the ball to the tight end, Larry Brown. Larry Brown's a big physical receiver, 6'5". As you mentioned, a former basketball player, played in the NCAA tournament. When he turns it down the field, he can punish you. And look at Mike Bobo. He's happy. Quarterbacks like to get some success. You want this kid to be successful. He shows great courage even playing after that fractured knee.
Larry Brown, 2 catches, 27 yards. Patrick pass. Just thrown out of bounds by Lawrence Wright. No flags on the play. Patrick Pass, a freshman, a true freshman out of Tucker, Georgia. Here's a kid that they are very excited about. Comes into the game with 33 carries for over 200 yards, and he signed a baseball contract with the Florida Marlins right out of high school. Drafted in the 44th round, and as a matter of fact, he was one of the top tailbacks in the nation last year, and Coach Jim Donnan, they get him in a sense as a walk-on. The Marlins are paying for his education.
That's a heck of a walk-on to have on your squad. Jim Donnan really likes this young Patrick Pass. They think he can be potentially a big play guy in their offense, and they're looking forward to his development. He's just very young. He has to mature and get used to this level of competition, but they're real high on him for the future.
Pass played in the Marlins Instructional League this past year. He's an outfielder. And there's Robert Edwards standing on the sidelines. 9 carries, 34 yards. Under 5 to go. 3rd down and 5 from the 36. Patrick Pass trying to glide through the hole. He'll get down inside the 35 to the 34. Mike Bowden in on the play again, along with Anthony Mitchell. So Halloween still being celebrated, I guess, here in Jacksonville. 4th down and 3. Bobo rolling. And he'll go down. Mike Bobo just swarmed under at the 42-yard line. Johnny Rutledge.
Well, we've certainly heard Johnny Rutledge's name before this play. The speed of the Florida defense is such a factor. They are able to cover you man-to-man and then blitz their linebackers. He comes off the backside for the sack.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals? Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue #1, so don't send the wrong signals. Get Selsun Power.
There's a medical emergency, but no hospital. What do? Build one. Leadership. Learn it now in the Army Reserve. Use it now in your career.
The CBS Star of College Football Today is sponsored by Nissan, who remind you that life is a journey. Enjoy the ride.
Nobody loves to play football more in November than the Volunteers of Tennessee, and their quarterback today had a huge day. His name, of course,
Peyton Manning. You're not the only star of the day around here, Pat. This guy had an awesome performance. Last week against Alabama, he didn't personally mess up, didn't have a great game, but he didn't throw a lot of interceptions to kill his team. Today, on target again, and I said early on he was going against a good pass defense in South Carolina. A very tough challenge for him today. Didn't make the mistake and had a humongous day.
Peyton Manning, our étoile du jour. Back to the game.
Pat O'Brien, 34-0. Danny Werfel, his day may be finished. He leaves 16 of 28 for 279 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, replaced by Brian Schottenheimer. And on 1st down, Fred Taylor running the football, and Schottenheimer, 183 yards passing on the season, 12 of 20, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. He transferred from Kansas. He is the son of Marty Schottenheimer, the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, but transferred to Florida because he wants to be a coach and wanted to learn the fun and gun offense from Steve Spurrier.
Well, what a great opportunity. And not only that, now he gets playing time on the #1 team in the country. Can't get much better than that.
First down from the 46. This time Terry Jackson running the football. He'll find a hole and get over the 40-yard line down to the 38. Alanda Sims.
Terry Jackson has played defense today. Now he's in playing tailback. He can play fullback. Terry Jackson, to me, is one of the best football players on the Florida team. He runs over linebackers. He'll punish you when he runs, and inside the 10-yard line, that's where Steve Spurrier really likes to put him in the game, because oftentimes there's an unblocked defender, and he'll run right over the top of him.
And you see Jackson wearing number 22, not because of Emmitt Smith, but his dad and brother played here at Florida, both wearing number 22.
Sometimes a number just belongs to a family, Gus, and in this case, that's certainly the case with number 22.
It's some pretty good company. Willie, Senior, Junior, Terry, and Emmitt. First down from the 32, as Jackson, considered one of the most talented athletes on this team, with his ability to play both offense and defense. Here's the delayed handoff. Jackson again with some room. He'll get to the 15. Corey Johnson wrapping him up. A gain of 15 yards for Terry Jackson.
You know, you go back to the principle of Steve Spurrier, how he plays offense. People think of him just as a passing coach. Not so. Florida is able to run the ball against every opponent they play. Terry Jackson, Elijah Williams, Fred Taylor, it doesn't really matter. They get great blocking from their fullbacks, Mobley and Evans, but those three guys carry the bulk of the work here for the Florida Gators.
3 carries, 30 yards for Terry Jackson. First down from the 16-yard line. Schottenheimer on the roll, in trouble, tried to duck under, but it's dragged down from behind. Chris Terry, the sophomore out of Jacksonville, held on to make the tackle.
Schottenheimer came out on a naked bootleg where he's unprotected, and he just needs to try to fool the defensive end, Chris Terry, number 84. Terry plays it perfectly, and then Schottenheimer just avoids the spear right there. Lucky.
Lose 5 yards, second down and 15 from the 21. Jamie Richardson in at receiver now for Florida, lined up on the near side. Here's Jackson, and he's taken to the ground at the 22-yard line. Greg Wright, the middle linebacker, in on the play.
You know, a lot of people felt coming into this game that if Florida mounted a substantial lead against Georgia, that Steve Spurrier would try to put 70 points on them, but that's not the case. Schottenheimer's in the game. Spurrier's keeping the ball on the ground. He has respect, I think genuine respect, for Jim Donnan. He knows Donnan right now is building a program. He doesn't have the same kind of athletes Florida has, but yet he wants his players to continue to play.
Schottenheimer swinging it out. Jackson at the 10-yard line. Kirby Smart there to tackle him, and another big pickup, this time 11 yards. Great touch on this ball from Schottenheimer to Jackson.
It's good to see Schottenheimer hit this little swing pass. It looks easy when you watch quarterbacks lay the ball off, but it's hard to throw that kind of particular pass. It's an art form. It's a very difficult throw. I've stood on the practice field and watched that pass fall incomplete countless times.
So that's the end of the third quarter with the score, Florida leading Georgia 34-0. We'll return to Jacksonville Municipal Stadium after this message and a word from your local station.
designed Nissan Maxima. It's attracting a lot of attention.
CBS, welcome home.
It's a World Championship 18 years in the making. Finally, the Commissioner's Trophy has come home to where it belongs. The 1996 New York Yankees, champions of the American League East, owners of their first league pennant in 15 years, and once again, world champions. Celebrate the Bronx Bombers' ride to baseball's pinnacle with the New York Yankees World Championship plaque. Each plaque includes an officially licensed 8x10 team photo featuring Bernie Williams, Derek Jeter, Cecil Fielder, Darryl Strawberry, Andy Pettit, and more. Below the photo is a nameplate detailing the Yankees' rise to their unprecedented 23rd World Championship. Call the toll-free number today to add to your collection of baseball memorabilia or give a gift that any Yankees fan will cherish. Operators are standing by 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to take your order. Supplies are limited, so call today.
If you own country property, tractors with brush cutters are fine for clearing big fields, but for smaller meadows, pastures, and woodlots, they're just too big and expensive. But look, the amazing self-propelled DR field and brush mower can go where tractors can't. It's perfect for clearing meadows and pastures, cutting trails and walking paths, and for maneuvering around trees in woodlots. Plus, the DR can handle slopes too steep and dangerous for riding equipment. So picture yourself with a DR at your place. Clear tall grass and brush right up to a fence line. Cut brambles, brush, and saplings up to 1 inch thick. Keep your banks, ditches, and roadsides mowed and looking great the easy DR way. Call toll-free 1-800-619-5252. That's 1-800-619-5252 for your big free package all about the amazing DR field and brush mower. That's 1-800-619-5252 for free DR details.
We begin the fourth quarter with Florida comfortably ahead as Bart Edmiston comes in to attempt a 28-yard field goal. And the kick is up, and it is good. Edmiston, 7 of 11 on the season. And Florida adds to their lead 37-0.
A lot of people my age set off on cruises around the world. Now, I set off on a second career. Hi, guys. Of course, my Dean Witter Broker's impeccable investment advice prepared me for any sort of retirement I chose. And I chose to start over with a business of my own.
Wait a minute, are you sure you're old enough to be here?
That's my idea of a fascinating adventure.
At Dean Witter, we measure success one investor at a time.
Bullwinkle, we passed by here an hour ago.
Where's here? I thought we were there.
Bullwinkle.
Oh,
Okay, that's enough TV for today.
Dad!
Let's go for a ride.
Yeah, come on, we're out of here.
Dad, where are we going?
This better be good.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh, honey, see that? See?
That's cool.
When we gotta be there?
Hey, stop, wait! Dad, can we take him home?
Ford Explorer, because the world's too big to be left unexplored.
We're there.
CBS Sports coverage of college football is sponsored by Selsun Blue. Doctors recommended #1 for dandruff, Selsun Blue. And by Dean Witter. There are many ways to measure success. We measure it one investor at a time.
And welcome back to Jacksonville, where the Florida Gators are on top 37-0 in the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Matt Teague, former walk-on, kicking it off, and this one going into the end zone, and Torrin Kirksey will take a knee. And they will start from the 20-yard line. Let's go back to New York and our Pat O'Brien.
All right, Gus, recapping that Notre Dame game, they took a 21-7 halftime lead after Autry Denson on a 33-yard run went on to beat Navy for the 33rd consecutive time. Well, they look good today, 54-27 in Dublin. Join CBS next Saturday at 3:30 for more college football action. That's Eastern time. Many will see Notre Dame take on the Eagles of Boston College. Some areas will see a showdown between Tennessee and Memphis. Let's go back to Gus.
And thank you very much, Pat. 37-0. Georgia with the football at the 20-yard line, and
you know, that was a big win by Notre Dame today against Navy. When you think about that game, they lost to the Air Force. The pressure was on Notre Dame to perform, and they did.
And our series here, Georgia, they've dropped 6 straight to Florida as the Gators go after a series tying 7th straight win. First down and 5. Patrick pass. Dipping through the hole, and he'll get to the 30-yard line.
Patrick pass carries.
Mike Peterson, the outside linebacker, making the play.
Tackled by number 90, Mike Moulton. Number 29, Mike Peterson. Good for a Bulldog first down.
And when you talk about these two teams, Terry, despite one team being up, the other being down, Florida, they're really concerned with closing the series record.
No question. This is the biggest rival that Florida has, is Georgia, and they want to make sure that they close that gap. And Steve Spurrier was very aware and talked about it openly. I asked him, how are you going to get your team emotionally ready for this game? He said, hey, we got to close the gap on Georgia. We've won 6 in a row, but we've got to close that gap.
And looking at Steve Spurrier, I mean, Terry, you've been around college football for years. What makes this guy so special? What has he really brought to the college football game that's different from what other people have brought in the past?
Well, I'll respond right after this play, Gus.
2nd down and 9 from the 31. Bobo again, this time to the near side. Corey Allen with the catch at the 35.
Now, Steve Spurrier is different than most guys in the country. He sits on the sideline and he feels the game. He wears a headset but doesn't get a whole lot of information from the press box. He likes to call the game, and Spurrier sees and feels the game from the sideline, and he conveys that to his quarterback. He is on exactly the same page with Danny Wuerffel, and Wuerffel's on the same page with the quarterbacks. And that, I mean, with the wide receivers, and that is what makes him such an outstanding coach. And he's not afraid to do the unexpected. Like I mentioned, he'd onside kick to start a game with. I don't know many coaches who would ever do that. To start a game an onside kick, I just don't know many.
3rd down and 4. Patrick pass, breaking through the hole and over the 45 up to the 47-yard line. That's a first down. Mike Harris making the tackle after a gain of 11.
Patrick Pass is going to blossom as a Georgia Bulldog running back. He's a strong, powerful player. He's got vision. He's not afraid to put his pads on you. As he develops, as he gets older and a little more mature, a little more experience, he's going to be one of the future stars for Georgia.
Picks up a first down at the 48-yard line now for the Bulldogs, and this is Kirksey running around the right side. Mike Peterson there to tackle him. And let's check in with Michelle Tafoya.
Well, guys, another traditional part of this rivalry is Larry Munson, who's been the voice of the Georgia Bulldog Athletics. He's the guy on the right of your screen there. He's been with Georgia for 30 years. He's legendary. Most Bulldog fans consider him as important a part of the football program as any player who's ever played here. Now, insiders say he doesn't do this job for the money. He does it out of loyalty. And, you know, he won't tell people how old he is, but we understand he's 75.
75 years old, Patrick Pass running the football again. Go ahead, Michelle.
All I was going to say, Gus, is it's fitting that he turned 75 this year, since this series is 75 games old, or I guess it's 74 games old if you ask the Gators, right?
Gus, we hope we're doing football when we're 75, right?
That's true. That's true. Long way to go for both of us.
A lot longer for you than me, unfortunately.
Under 12 to play in the football game. 37-0 Florida. Georgia with the ball at the Gators 32. Out of the I formation. They give it to the deep back. This is pass. Hit at the line of scrimmage. He'll spin forward and pick up about 3 or 4 yards. Mike Peterson with the tackle.
You like to see Mike Bobo out there still leading the troops. He hasn't had a great day. He's been under severe pressure, but he's still competing, and that's what you like to see when you're coaching a team. You want to see the leadership in the quarterback when things aren't going well.
2nd down and 7 from the 29-yard line. They pitch it. Kirksey running towards the near sideline. And he'll be tackled at the 22-yard line. Dwayne Thomas making the hit. And Mike Bobo, his dad George coached Mike at Thomasville High School in Thomasville, Georgia, and he quit to take a head coaching job at Armuchee High School to be closer to his son, have an opportunity to see Mike develop. And his dad was quoted as saying, "Hey, I've been watching other people's kids for 20 years. I want to spend some time watching my own."
Well, it's not often when you have a son that gets to play for the University of Georgia, University of Florida. When that happens, you need to go watch him and have some fun and enjoy him. It's hard to play college football. So many good athletes come out of high school. Very few get to play at this level.
And Mike Bobo fractured his knee versus Ole Miss last year. Started the first 4 games and was among the nation's top 5 in passing. Numbers really good last year, but this season he struggled. That knee still giving him some problems. Here's Torrin Kirksey trying to spin off tackle and get downfield. Stood up. Shea Showers.
It's not only his knee that's given him some trouble, Gus. He has struggled with the offense. In fact, he went to his father, called his father because he was frustrated, and his dad said, "Hey, just get into the film room, study harder, you'll eventually grasp the offense." It's not easy for a quarterback when you've had 2 or 3 different offensive coordinators. It takes time. You asked me that question earlier. How long does it take? Every system's a little different, but it takes time to grasp the techniques and concepts that the head coach is trying to instill in the team.
2nd down and 7. Kirksey hopping through the hole, and he'll get down to the 10. Mike Harris. Georgia trying to put something together to possibly qualify for a bowl. Losing that game to Kentucky last week really hurt them. But they'll take on Auburn next week, then finish out the season against Ole Miss and Georgia Tech.
Well, Jim Donnan knows that he has his work cut out for him. He needs to be out recruiting. He needs to keep improving the talent level here at Georgia, and he will. He'll eventually get that done.
Inside handoff going to Marseille Simpson. Coach Jim Donnan, the 1967 ACC Player of the Year at NC State, and he led the Wolfpack to a 14-7 win over Georgia in the Liberty Bowl. And he's always kind of been a bridesmaid, but never a bride in terms of head coaching jobs. Here's some jobs that he missed out on: North Carolina, West Virginia, NC State.
He's got a good one now, though. And the University of Georgia is an outstanding coaching job, and he'll develop it.
Patrick pass looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia. 9-yard run by the true freshman, Patrick Pass.
Well, Patrick Pass came out of high school. When he was in high school, he lived with a gentleman by the name of Trey Hurst, who was his legal guardian. It was his youth football coach, and this gentleman took him under his wing. Patrick stayed with him all through his high school career. He wanted to be successful as an athlete and as a student, and you watch this guy, and Jim Donnan told me yesterday, he said, this guy has talent. He's going to be very successful in the future.
Patrick Pass, the freshman, picking up a good block from Adam Meadows, and he gets in the end zone for the touchdown.
Just because something hasn't been done before, does that mean it can't be done?
The Chrysler Concord LXI. $1,000 cash back. The Chrysler Concorde, built on the belief that anything can be done.
You've been thinking about getting a digital satellite dish. And thinking some more. Well, think about this. The people at Radio Shack can answer your questions. Plus, now they've got great deals. Like a Primestar satellite system for only about $1 a day plus installation. 95 channels of Prime sports and movies with terrific picture and sound quality. Think about it. Better yet, stop thinking about it. Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
Australia's Great Barrier Reef. You don't need fins to swim under it. You don't need wings to fly over it. You don't need 4 legs to run through it. But you just might need to bring this. Because Reef Watch Air Tours, Wild Track Jeep Safaris, and Pro Sail Schooners will take you on the ride of your life. But they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
No witnesses.
If we get caught together, I'm gonna know what happened in that house.
CBS Sunday, November 24th. In cold blood.
And back at the Jacksonville Municipal Stadium, 37-7 as Georgia mascot continues to roam the sidelines. Uga. And the scoring drive, 14 plays covering 80 yards, and the Bulldogs eat up 6 minutes and 10 seconds as Patrick Pass barrels in the end zone for a 9-yard touchdown. Jacquez Green back deep for the Gators. Ready to run it again.
Kicking off for Georgia, number 2, Dax Langley.
So Dax Langley sending it away, and this one from the 5-yard line, Jamie Richardson, redshirt freshman. And let's go back downstairs to our Michelle Tafoya.
All right, Gus. Well, this is Uga, and this is Uga 5. He's the 5th Uga in the lineage of Georgia mascots. And, you know, the way that they do this is that Uga 5 is about 6 years old. They say he has about 3 years left in his tenure. And then one of his pups will take over. And it's all stemming from the same family. Every single Uga has been related. And so someday this guy's pup will be the next Uga, and that'll be about 3 or 4 years from now. Gus?
Okay, Michelle. Uga 5. So did they have kind of like a little Bruin at UCLA that would roam the sidelines, or just...
I'll tell you, that Uga 5 is ugly. That's all I know. I've seen some offensive linemen that could rival that dog, too.
Second down and 6 on the way for the Gators, and Doug Johnson, the new quarterback in for Florida, replacing Brian Schottenheimer, who replaced Danny Werfel, and they consider him the quarterback of the future. Great arm, still has to learn the system, however. And with Danny Werfel preparing to leave, Brian Schottenheimer, also a senior, will get an opportunity to lead this team next season.
Well, it gives Doug Johnson a chance to get some valuable playing time, and the way you get better as a quarterback is repetitions, whether it's in practice or on the field of competition. The more reps you take, the better you get as a player. There's no question about that.
He's a Gainesville native. And in the ball game right now, leading the way. 3rd down and 6, 7:19 remaining in the 4th quarter. Out of the I formation for the Gators. Delayed handoff. Eugene McCaslin popping it outside, and he'll get down inside the 50.
Now this is the 4th-string tailback for Florida, and Eugene McCaslin hardly gets into a game, but when he does, he's a freshman. He can light them up. He's averaging 14 yards a carry, this guy, and he's playing 4th string at Florida. Gives you some indication of the depth that Florida has at that particular position.
Out of Tampa, gained 16 yards on that play. 236 yards rushing on the year, averaging close to 7 yards per pop. First down and 10 at the 48. Here's Johnson setting up, delivering, and he's got his man at the 32-yard line. Good strike by Doug Johnson. Richardson with the reception.
Jamie Richardson's the slot receiver on this particular play. This is a view of the future for Florida. Doug Johnson puts the ball on the money like all the Florida quarterbacks seem to do. It's a well-timed throw. Richardson comes up with a nice reception.
Jamie Richardson, 4 catches, 60 yards on the year. Picked up a first down at the 33. Johnson handing it off. McCaslin. He's got running room on the right side. Cuts it up at the 20. Heading for the end zone. Stumbling. Oh, and he's dragged down inside the 5. He could smell the end zone right there, and he just really wanted to keep his feet.
We call that self-tackleization. That's what we used to call that, self-tackleization, when nobody made the tackle. McCaslin has all of the talent that the great backs have. He has the vision, the ability to break outside. All of a sudden, he sees that space. He hits those creases. He has a chance to put it in the end zone.
Was not touched by anybody. 3 carries, 43 yards already for McCaslin. He picked up 27 there. Let's see if Coach Spurrier will give him a second chance to score a touchdown.
Players are going to tease him. They're going to tease him about that last play. They're going to be all over him. When the films are rolling in the film room come Monday, they're going to be on him about that self-tackleization right there. Look at him.
He's still disappointed.
You're not kidding. He had a touchdown. He knows it.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat the down.
And that is the 4th delay of game penalty on the Gators today.
They have had some problems, particularly earlier when Werfel was in there trying to check some plays off. They're not in no huddle offense now. That play just came in a little late from the sideline.
First down. Here's McCaslin on the draw at the 10. McCaslin pounding his way forward, and he'll get it down to the 2-yard line.
They just keep coming at you in waves, tailback after tailback. Behind that powerful offensive line, they're able to make yards when there just doesn't seem to be any. This guy has vision.
4 carries, 51 yards for Eugene McCaslin. Second down, ball at the 3-yard line, goal to goal. And Doug Johnson,
you better hurry,
checks off, and he got the play off. McCaslin, he won't get much. And Florida 7-0, the #1 team in the nation, the AP top 10, followed by Ohio State. They just crushed Minnesota today, 45-0. Florida State, big matchup coming up with Florida later on during the year. And the second 5, Tennessee, Colorado, North Carolina, who's been very impressive this season, Michigan and Alabama.
Well, got a big matchup on the horizon between Nebraska and Colorado. It's going to have tremendous ramifications in terms of bowls.
And on third down, goal to goal, a flag has been thrown. It's like some movement on the offensive line.
Dead ball foul. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat the down.
So Steve Spurrier has his team operating on Georgia, but down the line he's got Vandy next week in Tennessee, followed by South Carolina, and the big matchup on November 30th, Florida State.
Boy, will that be a matchup now when you put those two teams together, particularly as Florida State's offense continues to improve.
Here's McCaslin. Good job by the Georgia defense stringing that play out, and he goes down at the 5. And when you talk about Florida State and Florida,
Gus, here's the Emery and Henry formation that Florida ran earlier. It's a little different version. It's kind of a hybrid, but it's the same idea. Spread them out all over the field, try to create lanes.
So in to attempt the field goal, Bart Edmiston, a 23-yard attempt on the right hash. And it's good. Florida continues to put points on the board, now 40-7.
It began just 4 years ago. Today, the GM MasterCard proudly announces that GM card earnings have helped to buy or lease 1 million new GM cars and trucks. The GM card is also proud to be ranked highest in customer satisfaction among rewards credit cards by J.D. Power and Associates. Your key is waiting for you.
When you're selecting mutual funds, we don't recommend throwing darts. Unless, of course, this is what you're throwing at. The Select List, only from Charles Schwab. Culled from the over 350 no-load mutual funds we provide. It's an objective, easy-to-use summary of the historically high performers. For a free trial subscription, call 1-800-5-NO-LOAD. It just may help improve your aim.
The Heisman Watch, sponsored by Charles Schwab, investing the way it should be.
This is the day Craig James been waiting for all year long. People talking about Danny Werfel for the Heisman. Let's have a drum roll. Who's your pick?
Pace, the big man from Ohio State, 6'6", 360 pounds. Led the Buckeyes on the ground today, 230 yards. He wasn't running the ball, but the guy was blocking. Check him out. This guy's just going to get kind of wiped off the screen. A little bit unfair here. 330 pounds. He's got the other guy next to him helping him out. Two guys. This is a half pancake. On the day, though, he did have 6 pancake blocks. He now has 56 deke leaders on the season. 56. That's unbelievable. Can you imagine if he hits you?
As I've said all along, it's Orlando Pace. Back to the game.
Oh, you bandwagon.
Orlando Pace hitting Pat O'Brien, and Pat getting one of those suits dirty? No way. Can't even imagine it.
Can you imagine that big old offensive lineman coming off on you and playing defense? But